What's up, guys? Good morning to everybody. Got a quick question here. I don't have a lot of experience with heavy equipment, but yesterday I put an offer on my 100 acres in Maine. And so I started looking on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and Equipment Trader and all that stuff. And I was looking for a used backhoe. Now, ideally, I'd like to spend, $25,000 or $30,000. Not knowing a lot about heavy equipment and just starting my research, it seems like it might be difficult to get a good machine that doesn't need cylinders repacked or doesn't have hose leaks or is really dripping anything for that price. I don't know if that's accurate, like I say. The point of this video really is to put it out there and see if any of my subscribers or people that watch my videos may have experience with particular models of heavy equipment or backhoes. I guess first, what I'm looking for is probably like how to figure out what the most reliable brand is. So I've looked at pretty much all the commercial job sites. You see Case 580s on them. Those things must be bulletproof or something. Also put a call in to one of my cousins that does repair work, like mobile repair work for Sunbelt Rentals. And he told me basically any of the old John Deere backhoes, like the G series, a 310G or a 410G. He said a 410G would be a little bit bigger than a 310, and that I'd be able to get more work done with it in less time just because of its size, and there's not a huge cost difference. So at least go for a 410. Also saw some 510s and some 610s. Now these are like mid-90 machines, and he's telling me that the place that I should preface this with 100 acres, there's no roads on it or anything, so I'm going to have to put in a driveway. I'll probably have to rent an excavator to do some of the stump removal and stuff, but a backhoe seems like the most versatile thing to buy to have on site long term. Be able to move a lot of material with the bucket, and then also it does seem like a pain to have to set up the outriggers and do backhoe work if you're going to be moving around a lot. Obviously, it'd be a lot better to have an excavator, but I don't think I can afford both an excavator and a backhoe. So I think the backhoe is the best all-around unit, especially being in Maine for the wintertime. I'll be able to move snow with it and stuff like that, so it'll probably work better. It'd be pretty hard to travel any great distance with a excavator for something like that. One of the driveways might be a half a mile long, so not sure. Anyway, the cousin that did Sunbelt repairs recommended the John Deere G series, like a mid to late 90s machine, because there's no electronics in them, I guess. So this place is very remote. It's going to be pretty difficult once the machine is delivered on site to have anybody work on it unless it's a mobile mechanic. And he basically said no JCB loaders. But from what I can tell on the equipment forums and the Tractor Buynet forums, JCBs seem to be pretty good. So a lot of people call it the junk construction brand, which I thought was kind of funny. And the cousin was saying that in Sunbelt rental history, a JCB is one that gets worked on a lot. So he said that usually they're cheaper to buy, but a lot more expensive to maintain in the long run because they break more frequently or just aren't built as well. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. What I would like to hear from you guys is, do you know of basically a year and a model of a backhoe that is pretty much bulletproof? Is there a particular Case model or a John Deere model? Or I know the Cats are built really, really well, but I think they might be out of my price range, even for an older unit. I looked at some of the New Hollands, which I think are kind of in the same camp as a JCB. I read some stuff about the transmissions being a little bit weak in that. I'm trying to think what else. Basically, I've covered, a lot of ground as far as researching what to buy over the last few months, but I'm kind of stuck on pulling the trigger on something. And then you go and look at a machine, and sometimes the pins are worn out, or it seems, looser than what do they call it? Looser than a $2 gal on the street corner. And, if it's going to need a ton of work just to get it, if it hasn't been maintained, I guess, over its lifespan, you'd be better off, to buy something else that has higher hours. Because that was the other thing I didn't understand. If a machine has super high hours, I basically wasn't looking at it. And then a lot of people are saying, no, that's the wrong train of thought. A high hours machine is better, that has been well maintained, is better than a low hours machine that's been beat to shit or that has a hammer on the back and no one's taking care of it and the pins are all sloppy and you go to move the boom around and it just, as soon as you stop the controls, it just shakes and rattles back and forth. Again, this will be my first backhoe, but I don't want to get, the closest Walmart to the site that I'm going to be at is 49 miles away. So to give you an idea of how remote this is, there's not going to be any heavy equipment places within a 2 to 3 hour ride. And so if I have to transport this thing or I buy the wrong thing and it doesn't check out, boy, I'm going to be up shit creek. So my hope with this video is to hopefully maybe somebody out there can steer me in the right direction. I'm looking for something used, something that's bulletproof. I will spend more money to get a better machine, but like I say, a Caterpillar like 420, it looks like it's around $50,000, $40,000 with 4,000 hours, 6,000 hours. And this is looking at stuff that's available in New England. So hopefully in Maine, because the transportation costs are pretty expensive. We've got a guy that'll do the transport for around $600 to $800 from anywhere from Portland up past the Sugarloaf area or whatever. If you happen to be in that area, it would make sense to you. Obviously it doesn't if not. But anyway, hopefully there's some heavy equipment guys out there that can shed some light on, which machines would be a good idea to stay away from. That would probably be most helpful in the comments down below. If you could just put stay away from these and then tell me which ones they are, because there's a ton of machines available and it's hard to sift through them and really know what you're looking at. So thanks so much, guys. And obviously whatever I buy, we're going to make some videos on. If I have any repairs done, I'll be filming that stuff. And then, when I go to pick it up and we use it to cut the road, I'll be filming that. So it should be cool. Hopefully if there's anything I can do to help anybody out there once I do get the equipment, I'll be able to make tutorial videos on that, because I'm going to have to learn how to do the maintenance myself. And I'm sure there's going to be special tools for some of the seal kits and things like that. But I think as a general rule, I'm not going to put that many hours on it over the course of a year. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I would think under 100 hours a year or something. But it's still going to have to be maintained well to keep it in good shape and starting good in the winter, because it gets really cold there. So thanks so much, guys. We'll see you in the next video.